Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday evening connection. And like every week, we want to bring many more secrets that the universe. Again, some of us, thinking is like, okay, which universe? Who is coming and sharing this? Okay, or the system in place. It's the system that keep pouring to this world many more revelations. It's like try to stop the sun from shining, right? You can not stop the sun, but you can stop yourself from be around the sun or getting more sun. I hope that makes sense. But the universe is constantly pouring on us consciousness and new revelations, new ideas, new ways of communications, always more and more. Where do you find it? Most of us, a lot of people somehow, that they have more or less friction with the spiritual world, so they're more attentive to this information, okay? But for us who are a little bit dense or a little bit not as psychic, we go to the books, we go to the depth of Kabbalah, and these books that the Kabbalists wrote many years are meant and geared to give us constant revelation. One of them is, of course, you probably heard about the Zohar, which is the ancient text of Kabbalah. There's an ocean of information there and knowledge that keep pouring for us. But many different Kabbalists throughout the years revealed so many more secrets. Every week, its own unique gifts. So every week we want to find and detect secrets that are relatable to what's going on today. This week, obviously, it's 1 week before what we call a very big opening, cosmic opening called Passover, Pesach. Next Monday, next class, I want to gear that class only for revelation of many secrets that I can't even really wait to share with you all these secrets, because it really changes completely the connection of what Passover is all about and why people think it's a Jewish holiday. This is the myth. This is the idea that we want to complete dissolve, right? The barrier between these events, cosmic opportunities, to an absolute humanity can nourish, can connect, can elevate. That's the idea. This week, it gives you a little hint of the preparation that you want to do before Passover. And one of them is called the word tzav. Tzav, the word tzav, is the name of the portion. Tzav is literally mean command, right? Or an order. Or even it can be the word of a must or coerce, always. So if you look at religion, throughout the year, religion conducts itself in a way that many of us repelled. We repelled from religion because it was this way or you cannot, right? Or don't ask question or don't, all kind of like, in a way, religious way. And pushes away a lot of people from this type of dogmatic life, or this is how I have to do and you must and you have. In this world today, in our time, the word must or have to or coerce something or twist the arm of someone or manipulate someone, slowly people sensing it, people getting it, and people running away from it. These people, particularly it's myself, if that work of Kabbalah would be pushing me in this way, I would definitely not going to be doing what I'm doing today. Because the wisdom of Kabbalah is so welcoming, it's so attentive to where you at, what's your level, what you can digest and what you cannot. That's really open for myself, my vessel, my desire to connect even more, to plug even more. So why does it say that you have to come to the level of tzav, which is to be able to, to follow the rules, or to do and to be? Why? Let me explain a little bit more about that. Many Kabbalists says the word tzav is also the word zeruz. What is zeruz? Is quickness, quickly, right? Quickly. So for example, many of us will be run quickly to something that might give us some benefit or some, ego or some, be on the spots, spotlights. Yeah, quickly, Let's say, for example, somebody offer you an amazing deal. Quickly answer the call, right? But if it's about helping a friend move in an apartment in a rainy day, I'm not sure I'm going to respond that quickly. I'll check if I can, if my schedule, I don't know, my back, all kind of reasons, right? But when it's about serving me, but it's about getting me, promoted, yeah, quickly, yeah? Or something that is about to serve me, quickly I'm going to run into it. But it's about, volunteer in a soup kitchen for 60 hours at night. I'm going to think about it, okay? So why, when it's something that is of sharing, of giving, of helping, hey, some people even jump to give because they know how much they're going to receive in return, or what's the benefit that will come to them in return. That's also getting people quickly, let's do it quickly, huh? Or let's close the deal quickly before they're going to regret, right? That's what people do. That's how when they use the word quickly, or I like to use the word alacrity, getting excited, getting motivated. For what reason? So from today, ask yourself, when I'm about to do something quickly, what's my motivation? If it's a selfish thing, if it's serving me, if it's getting me more ego and more recognition, and I realize I'm quickly running to that and quickly to answer the call, and something that's more annoying and more like, oh, he's going to be, this friend is always calling me and complain all the time. I don't want to call them, right? But if it's a call from someone that is like a celebrity calling me, yeah, quickly answer them, So I want each one of us to start examining where you're coming from. What makes you go quickly and what makes you go slowly, right? So, for example, even coming to the class today, how quickly, you ran to here, right? Or like, I'm not sure today, maybe tomorrow. Oh, I still have time. I can come later, right? So we have to check. Because why? Because this is how the universe will behave with you. It's exactly the same way. If you're quick to do your spiritual work, not to do the spiritual work quickly, but quickly to jump to do spiritual work, quickly. Oh, it's an opportunity to do something spiritual, quickly. Opportunity to do something for myself, wait a second. Then the universe starts hearing you so loud. The universe really opens itself and revelations, right? Gates of abundance to people who run quickly. Why? But I saw many people doing spiritual work. No. Even someone that does, let's say, you wake up in the morning and you quickly run to do your meditation, right? And somebody who wakes up in the morning, take the time, do my meditation in my own time when I have time, right? That is the same meditation, but because the person had that word, what we call, I like the word alacrity, and also quickness, rizut, right? Quickly, I'm going to go into that, right? As opposed to, let me think, yes or no. That alacrity, that's quickness. Remove all negativity and allow you to receive way more revelation when you're running to do something spiritual. Or either it's a book, or either it's a study, or either whatever it is that you do spiritually. So this is another thing that each one of us can convert ourselves to get used to. First of all, to examine where am I coming from. Why am I quickly to answer? Oh, because I get some reward over here. Or why am I quickly, running away, right? Either running away or answering because I have something agenda over there. So then you see why things are delayed for you. When I want my soulmate, when I want the deal to get closed, when I want things to happen, the universe also being very slow with you because of that. So obviously, don't blame anybody beside you. So this is where you want to shift before Passover comes, because Passover is the new cycle of the zodiac sign. So before we entering to, we're already in the time of what we call the beginning, which is the time of Aries. Started last week. We spoke about it, but in Passover, you receive an infusion of energy to completely kind of like melt down of all the old you, all the old mechanism that you use, and rebuild a new structure. And in the new structure that you want to build as a vessel is a structure of alacrity to your spiritual path, whatever it is, and to whatever degree that you do that. Okay? That's one big idea. Second, one of the things that the Kabbalah speaks about is about correction. We all have what we call Tikkun. Tikkun is a correction. What am I correcting? I'm not correcting something physically. I'm not correcting something that you can take in your hand and fix it, right? Correction is adjustment to how you funnel the light into your life. For example, if you have something in your life that is being used only for yourself, and it's meant to give you, let's say, for example, you have a talent, and you're not going to share your talent until people will pay you so much money for that talent, right? So in a way, you're not using your gifts. Therefore, your gifts will be used against you. Anything that I have in life that I meant to be adjusting myself to use it as a channel for revelation in this world, bringing more light to this world, more revelation to people's life, then you end up using that gift just for me, or in a selfish way, or you're not even using it. So it's appear as you abusing it, and therefore it's been used against you. So find out again. Another thing is, what is my purpose here in this world? What am I doing here? And it's, again, I said last week, it's not something that you work. It's not your work. It's not your job. It's not your purpose. Your purpose is a different adaptation that you need to do. So let's say, for example, anybody, I'm sure there's few friends over here. I'm sure everybody, if you live in New York, you probably have some kind of tikkun or correction with patient. Anybody? Right? If you're driving here, for sure you have a patient tikkun, right? So, being in the city, it's always pushing us, right? Standing in line, always lines. Even to cross the street, sometimes you have line. You know that? I mean, in the good time of New York, you couldn't even cross the street, right? You remember that? Now it's a little bit lighter version of that. But in a way, we all have patient tikkun. So somebody says, oh, I don't want to deal with my patient. I'm going to be a billionaire and I'm going to bypass all the lines. Okay, I'm going to be a VIP, so I don't need to wait to anybody. Eventually, your plane will be stuck on the runway for 3 hours. You're not going to escape that tikkun, that correction, right? Or some people, I said, okay, I live in the city, it's too many people, a lot of things, I need even to wait to go up the elevator in my building. I'm paying like $20,000 a month. I need to wait for the elevator. I can't even go in my elevator. I have to wait in line to the elevator. I'm moving. When in my own house, I'm going to go to the Hamptons, right? Sure enough, they bring in the highway and there's traffic every day. And it's stinky. And now they're doing like all day long for the next 5 years, Like, again, some of us thinking that I can run away to go over there, and all of a sudden something happened, and then they bring in a bridge, and now the airlines is starting to go above your house, all kind of things. So you're not gonna escape. What I recommend, if you find that there is something that is a repetitive for you, that is a tikkun, something that is a repetitive that you can detect from today until next week. That we talk next week, Monday. Detect things that you find yourself stuck in a loop, right? And the gift is, he says, and this is what the Kabbalah says, Arichut zmanei hatikun yaktinu erech hatikun. it's such a beautiful idea. If you take too long to fix it, it reduces the amount of the value that you can get from that. So let's say I detect something that I need to work on. I say, okay, I'm going to work on it, in my time, when I'm ready. I'm not ready, if you're in a relationship, for sure, somebody's complaining about you, right? Have you been in a relationship? There's always somebody complain about you. Huh? You to her, him to him to they to they, right? No? Always. What is it? Find what they complain about you and make a decision to change it today. The value for that is enormous amount of benefit for your soul, as opposed to that, and you wait. Let her talk. Let him say again and again and again. And eventually you're going to change it. But the benefit is like when they took the juice out of you. You know what I'm talking about? When somebody is squeezing all the juice out until they do something, right? Let's say, for example, you want to go to a birthday party or some party, right? And you ask your friends, hey, you want to go to that party? We are invited to this party, so I don't want to go. Oh, come on, and let's go. You're trying to convince them, and they took all the air out of your wings, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's not just me or all of us, right? When it's like somebody like dragging their feet. But eventually, when they're there, everything is amazing, right? And they don't want to leave, right? But to get them there is like pulling teeth, right? And so when they go there, you already not enjoying. Okay, it took me so long to bring you. Now you're enjoying this? But I cannot even enjoy with you. Look what it took me to get you here. So again, you want to go to a vacation, you're going to something, until we got there, oh my God, it's like, I just want to go back, That's what it means. When there is a correction of something that you detect that you need to work on, quickly jump and do it. Why? Because you prolong it, there's no much in it anymore. Eventually, you're going to fix it, you're going to adapt it, but there's no much revelation that comes from that. So this is a second idea that we can, the Kabbalist Rav Ashlag, he says, if a spiritual work take less of time, there is way more benefit for your soul and growth that's happening with that. Then in this portion, there's another thing I want to share with you. I started last week to speak about different sacrifices. I don't know if you remember, if you read it, but it's continuing this week in different way of sacrifice, but they're still speaking about sacrifice. And I had a question that it's interesting question. Human being used to sacrifice animal. For what? For their sin. So wait a second. The human being, right? That's what doesn't make any sense, right? A person committed a crime, and they say, okay, go to the holy temple, bring a sacrificial, whatever, lamb or we spoke about last week about the different layers, and you bring that offering. They slaughter it, they burn it, they eat it. You're good. It's not good. I don't feel it's right. What do you mean? An animal need to pay for my shortcoming, for my misbehavior, for my vindictiveness? That's why an animal, let's slaughter the animal, bring the chicken, let's slaughter him, and now I'm pure. How does it work? How did they conceptualize it to themselves, right? And I tell you, it's all clear, it's all clean, it's all amazing. But that question, nobody asked this question. Again, this is the idea of why Kabbalah, for me, is like eye-opening because you're able to ask questions that nobody can even think about or even really give you an answer for. So that brings us, to the reality of cause and effect. Many people living, before, if you study Kabbalah for a while, you live in that reality. But if not, many people living in punishment and reward. Right? I do this, I get that. If you don't do that, there's a God who will punish you. It's a very old and scary and fear-based reality that people lived and still live in. People are afraid to leave their religious circle. What's going to happen? There's like a wolf that's going to come to them, or there's a devil with a stick waiting for them. A complete close-minded, not looking down. I feel bad for people like that cannot even expose themselves to a different reality, or not to live in fear and all day long worries. Not that it's just the religious people. There's people here living life always afraid, always not moving, frozen all the time. For whatever reason, what my parents will say, what my neighbors will say, what my boss will say, all these reasons like that. There is cause and effect. You act in a certain way. Let's say you act in a negative way, selfish, very low level, right? There is a result. The result for that will bring you pain and cleansing. When you behave in a selfish way, on and on and on, right? Let's say, for example, even forget about life, and we spoke about relationship. If you're too long very selfish in relationship, eventually you're gonna get the kick out. Does that make sense what I'm saying? They're gonna kick you out, no matter who you are, the what side of the coin, right? You're gonna be kicked out if you're too selfish. So eventually in life is the same way. When you keep behaving in life, even if nobody sees, every action is a cause that have a ramification, have an effect. It's like when you go to a pool of water and you hit the water, it will create waves. You cannot go to the other side and protect from the wave to go, right? You hit the water, you create waves. Each one of us have energy. Every type of behavior you have, it's a frequency that you spread around you. You don't even understand. Every time you think, you're like a receiver. Anybody believe that there's waves, frequency moving here? You believe it? No. If I will tell you that 300 years ago, you would think I'm a man, right? But if I tell you there's many waves around here, there's frequency moving around. Everybody, yeah, of course. Yeah, there's this frequency, that frequency, there's waves, there's molecular, there's this. Everybody is very much, 20 years ago, we couldn't say it. If I was studying in class 30 years ago and tell people, it's all energy, it's like, specific people would agree with that. A lot of people, you have to convince them, right? Not to talk about 200 years ago, that you will go be locked out outside of New York. There's a place for people like that, right? Probably all of them are still there. They need to be released because it's already known that they're not mad. Let's go back. Every action have an effect. Have an effect, my friend. Either you acting in a positive way or in a greater way, you have a positive, energy that you're putting out there. Eventually, at some point, it's coming back. Like I said, how do we know? It's like the world is like this circle, right? So if I hit the pond, like they say the lake, if I hit the pond in the middle, right, with a rock, so the waves start to go, right, to the corner, to the edges, and then what happened? They coming back, right? Have you seen that in the pool or in the water? That's the nature of them, is that when they hit the corner, they coming back. So there's also the same way when your frequency, when action that you've done, depending how strong it is, it creates many, many waves. And eventually those waves create a ripple that comes back and influence you. Either it's negative or it's positive, right? That's cause and effect. That being said, let's go back to the sacrifice. The Kabbalists explain, if you behaved in a negative way, in a selfish way, in a very low level way, in order for you to behave this way, you have to go down to the level of animal. Within each one of us, there's four, we call them 4 different kingdoms, right? The mineral, which is the inanimate, right? It's also, we have that. We have the vegetation kingdom within us. we have the animal kingdom within us, and the highest kingdom within us is the medaber, the one who speaks, which is the human, that's the ultimate goal that we all want to achieve. So now it's clear. Now it's clear. If you behave, have you ever seen yourself sometime when you behave negatively, sometimes you feel like an animal? Again, I don't want to look, you're probably going to lie to me, but we are animals in a certain way. Sometimes you want to check it out, check how you eat sometimes. Oh, I'm hungry. All of a sudden, like an animal, like you can't control yourself, right? Because you went to a lower frequency. And in that lower frequency, you behave with your animalistic nature. Therefore, that's what has been cleansed. When humans are acting different, there's other cleansing that's happening. But now is it clear when you read about all these sacrifices in this week or last week or all of that, is to know anytime, I'm lowering myself to the level of animal, that's the only way I can cleanse. So sometime, but we don't do it anymore in this world. Yes, we don't. But that energy exists today. So then you're not going to have a sacrifice of animal, but you're going to have people that behave like animal, causing pain and fear to you. That's what it is. So you're going to blame them and those people. No, those people went to a level of animal and inflicted or causing pain to you to cleanse what you created when you were an animal. So think about it. Is the rabbit upset when the lion wants to eat them? Is he a victim, you think? Or when a lion runs after a deer and the deer says, stop, leave me alone. Why are you always eating me, right? That's the nature. They understand. They understand that's eating this is eating that, when you see a baby calf coming out from a cow, right? It come from his mother, right? Right away, she kick him, well, go eat, go find a job. What do you mean if I was just born? I was just born. You send me to eat and to hunt my food, right? Let me sit around. No, nature is very clear. They have no problem, the birds, the flocks, moving, migrating from here to there. They never complain. Oh, man, now we have to go all the way to Australia. Oh, I don't want to go there, No complaints, not even a mistake. It's all clear for them. So therefore, when you go and you behave as animal, don't even question for a second that the people that come and behave with like an animal to you, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. They represent this animal that come and finish the animal that you behave with. Again, it's layers and it's growth that we want to do. Again, it's more and more a beautiful thing about that, but I thought it's just because last week I didn't have a chance to, and that thought came to me to share with you. So one more thing, and we can finish here. Is two more. One, they call this week portion Zot Torat Ha'olah. What does it mean, Torat Ha'olah? This is the rules or the passage of where is Olah. Olah is also sacrifice, but Olah is come from the word elevate. Okay. So he said, this is the Torah Olah. This is the way of how they sacrifice. This is the way to sacrifice. This is the way to use sacrificial. But the word that they're using in the Torah is Olah, elevate. What is Olah? Right? Literally mean sacrifice, right? But at the same time, the word Olah, if you change the way you pronounce it, is called Oleh, which is elevated. This is the path. This portion is a path to anyone who is interested to elevate spiritually. They have to open themselves this week to be elevate themselves spiritually. How? So now it's a little bit, for those of us who don't study a lot of Kabbalah, so just take the time to understand it. There is this world The Kabbalists call it the kingdom, Malchut, the world of Malchut, the world of physicality. The Kabbalists put it in terms of this is the 1% world. All what you're experiencing here is just 1%, right? The table have 99% that you don't see, the book, anything physically, you just engage with 1% of it, and there's a 99% hidden reality. Who can connect to that hidden reality? Those of us who elevate from this frequency of this physicality. Anytime you know that you are less attached to something, you have more and better results, as opposed to someone that is very attached to the results. Like you tell them, let go, it's going to be fine. For them, they don't know how to let go because they're very attached to it. Therefore, they're so embedded in this 1%. As opposed to you, you're not attached to it. It's easier for you to let go in a way. So that being said, who is the one that elevates this physical world to the spiritual world? This is what we want to connect. This is who we are. So, for example, what does it mean to us in our life? A lot of people in life, they thinking there is God or whatever they speak. I tell them, think about higher being and all this. They always gonna aim high. They think there's a God somewhere or creator or some kind of, I don't know what people up there in heaven. It's nothing up there, my dear. It's nothing there. You can ask the astronaut. They went miles and miles, years and years. They didn't find anything besides more planets and more planets, right? Kabbalists refer to the inner world. You want to find your creator? You want to find your source? Go down. Again, I don't mean down on earth, even though the Kabbalah speaks about different firmament that eventually get to the core, the essence of this planet, okay, is within. But let's put it this way. Each one of us is a microcosmos.
May I have a small chicken, please? Yes, please.
Yeah. Each one of us, okay, is a microcosmos, right? So whatever happening with you is exactly what exists in this world, and is exactly how the world operates, exactly how you operate. So if you want to find how to elevate yourself or to connect to your absolute strength, is only deep inside of you. And for that, you need something we call in Kabbalah the power to resist, the power to restrict, the power to push back, not on people, but to push back of my ego, of my need, or running to get what I want right now. It is important to understand is what we call in Kabbalah a direct light, like the sunlight, right? The sunlight is always directly shining on you. Information, knowledge, understanding, everything shines on you on a constant base all the time. As soon as you resist the me, that information comes in. It's called returning light. There's a direct light that is constant, like the sun doesn't stop. The same thing exactly. There's a tremendous, always, every day, secrets and secrets and secrets. What's missing? Not that light, that returning, that it comes from me, that I'm pushing back. No, I'm not going to respond to this. No, I'm not going to lead my life based on other people's opinion. No, I'm not going to be a parrot for this situation. I'm not going to be just a follower. I want to lead my life. Again, this is one of important part you want to do. Any situation, and I said it a few times, again, eventually you will learn it deeply. Anything that comes your way that feels like a test or a situation, or somebody come and tell you something, or thing that come and need your attention, please develop a strength within you, because if not, you will not be able to go deeper. I am not responding to this right now. I'm not doing it right now. Do nothing. Nothing. Now, I know some of you will get like, well, what does it mean? Nothing. Do nothing, but they ask me, they need to answer. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm doing nothing right now. But wait a second, we need you to respond. Okay, you know what? Let me start with your emails on text. How fast? Right, depend, of course, to who. How fast we answer an email, right? Somebody comes and email you. What? Outrageous. You come back, I'm gonna combat it right now. Wait a second. Don't answer that email. The email is gonna be there tomorrow. But the text, they didn't answer me. How dare you? Okay. Let's wait. I'm not responding just because I'm engaged in something that is what we call, tzav. They have to. I have to answer, right? It's a command almost. That's the idea that we want to break. So first is if something happened, or if you feel it's a test, or you feel like, something that is getting you either too excited or too afraid, wait a second. I'm waiting. Waiting for what? How long should I wait? How long does it take that process? As long as it takes. I'm not answering when I'm reactive, when I'm too rattled by that, when I'm too affected by that, when I care what they're going to say, when I'm too concerned of the results. Wait a second. But the result didn't come. We have to do something. No, we don't have to do something right now. Please, even just take your time for anything. This is the mechanism to go deeper. This will challenge you, your insecurity, will beat out all the unnecessary steam, unnecessary, acid in your body, right? We all acidic. We all have acid reflux all day long because we keep it shoveling more. Yeah, I don't want to say, okay, I'm going to do, yes, boss. No, I'm not doing it. I'm done with chasing after ghosts. This is, if you can run alacrity to do restriction, you don't know what shovel you got to dig deep inside of you and find that preciousness inside of you. And the last thing that I want to put there, I'm not going to speak about it, but I'm just telling you, this week, if you do that this week, you have a very big chance for next week comes Passover to completely remove yourself, or freedom. This Passover is all about freedom. Run away from laziness. I will say it 3 times, okay? Run away from laziness. If that's the only thing you got today, coming next week, Passover this time, it's just an amazing opportunity for you. Why? Because if you know what? Look at this year. If you got depressed for a day, for an hour, so sometimes people depressed for like months, days, like, I don't know, weeks. I mean, what? How? Why? How can you be depressed? Right? Oh yeah, it's gonna happen to you. What happened to me? Yeah, I didn't grow up in the La La Land. Okay, I grew up the same as everybody. And no money, no this, working hard, finding your way in the world, all like anybody else. But I can tell you, I find this wisdom. I was invited to this wisdom, and from then on, I don't find it so practical being depressed. But you know what caused depression? Laziness causing you to doubt yourself, causing you to hesitate too long, and eventually it's down a very slippery slope to a depression. And from then, that's already, we know the system, and it's pills and talk and doesn't help. If you find and detect laziness, the result of that is absolute happiness. So again, freedom that comes next week. We're going to speak more about that freedom in Passover next week. But if you can, please, this week, run away from laziness. Okay, alacrity about it. Like, right, I'm excited to not to be lazy. Okay, that is for now, for our week. Thank you.